back to All Over the Place, the official podcast of MediaPub.live. I'm your host, Eric Pervoznik. EP, there we go. EP this evening. Because, well, just it's a baseball cap kind of night. So, here we are on All Over the Place. And with, as always, Jim Culver.
Hey, how you doing?
I am awesome, coming off of a softball game tonight and getting back in that. So I'm so excited for our topic again tonight. Christine is here as well.
Hello.
How are you, Christine?
Wonderful as always.
Is the dog mute button on?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
Very good. Very good. We have a returning guest with us tonight, and the president of the 1.5 block in the Dallas area of the Kenny Wormald fan club, Jel Michaels. Welcome back to All Over the Place.
Hasta lumbago to everybody.
Good to see you again, Jel. And Jel is back with us because the last time he was here, there were some words. There's some throwdown going on with a favorite actor of mine and a not so favorite actor of Jel's. But we'll see what happens tonight, because tonight it is the Bacon Wars. Kevin Bacon. And we're going to be discussing all things sizzling and whatnot. So a couple of us will be going with, movies where we think that Kevin Bacon would have made it better. So we're going to insert him into the cast. And or we'll just pick favorite Kevin Bacon movies. And then our plus one tonight is a Kevin Bacon movie that just did not work. And if we want to recast it, we will. But otherwise, it's just like everyone has a misstep. And when you've got a career as storied and as long-lasting as Kevin Bacon's, you're bound to make a misstep or two. It happens to the best of us. So, with that in mind, Jel Michaels from MediaPub.live and beyond, we're going to start with you this evening.
Thank you. All right. Well, first of all, I know a couple of people are there in Arizona, and the Diamondbacks are playing my Rangers right now, so I do want to give a shout out to all of my people in Dallas. Go Rangers.
D-backs.
And then there's always a shout out to baseball here, where 6 + 4 + 3 equals a double play.
That's right. I actually had the good fortune to see the Rangers game the other night.
Wow.
The clincher?
I
Yeah.
saw the game on Thursday or Friday and Saturday.
Very nice. Nothing like a live baseball game. Love it.
No. I wasn't at the game.
You weren't at the game. Oh.
No, I just saw the game on TV.
Gotcha. Okay. There's nothing like baseball.
Okay, so kicking it off, I think that the only actor that is worse than Kevin Bacon, I know we're starting it off, fists are flying already.
That's why it's the Bacon Wars, Jel. Go on.
The only actor worse than Kevin Bacon is John Travolta. And so my first movie that Kevin Bacon would be a slight step up would be the John Travolta movie, 1976, Boy in the Plastic Bubble.
We're going back on that one. All right.
I do think that Kevin Bacon would put a couple of dance moves in while he was in the bubble. I think
As we discussed on the last show, Kevin Bacon is no Kenny Wormald in the dancing department.
No, and we will get to Kenny. We will get to Kenny a little bit later, but
and Travolta is quite the dancer as well.
Who's that?
And Travolta is actually quite the dancer.
Please, we'll get there.
Something tells me a few weeks down the line we're going to be having the Travolta Wars.
Could be.
Oh man.
Could be.
It's gonna get ugly.
All right,
so that's mine. That's my first one.
Jel is kicking off with putting Kevin Bacon in The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, an excellent TV movie from back in the mid-'70s. And for those of us who had just known Travolta at that point by Welcome Back, Kotter, yes, I was watching Boy in the Plastic Bubble. Kevin Bacon, I'm going to think of you the next time, though.
I could picture a young Kevin Bacon that he'd be like 12 when that movie came out, though, wouldn't he?
He was born in 58, so
58. Okay.
He'd have been 18.
18. Okay.
He did play a freshman, an 18-year-old freshman, Chip Diller, in 1978's Animal House. So actors, they're always playing younger, trying to skew younger. It could happen.
And then he played a high schooler about 10 years later in what's the dancing movie, which is escaping me at the moment, but
Footloose.
Footloose.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the worst movie of all time.
One of those 30-year-old high schoolers you always meet.
All right, well, Jim, on that note, we're going to flip over to you for your first entry in the Bacon Wars.
Okay, so I'm going to start out by saying that, like you, Kevin Bacon is one of my favorite actors, and as the employees at my local diner know, I almost always enjoy bacon in a roll. So,
Puke. Sorry.
all right, so my first pick is going to be the remake of The Italian Job. And the reason I'm going with that one, I'm picking him for the villain role because Edward Norton played that and he was terrible in it. And he did not want to do that movie. He was only in it because the studio contracted him. And you can tell when you watch it, he looks so bored and he is not any fun. He should be menacing and scary and fun to watch. And he puts you to sleep in that. And like he gets killed off screen at the end of it, and you can't even tell the difference. So Kevin Bacon plays that kind of menacing villain really well, and I think he would have been really good in that role, and he would not have sleptwalked through it. He would have been a lot of fun in that.
He is scary to watch.
But enough about Hollow Man.
Indeed. I don't know. He wasn't that good in that. I could see right through him.
Oh,
At least where the eye holes were, right?
It was there. I had to grab it. It was right there.
I don't have drums, Jim. I only got a guitar and accordion behind me, but we'll work on a rib shot for the next time.
Fair enough.
All right, Christine, over to you.
Okay. Well, my number 3 pick, we actually just saw last night, I think. But it's a newer movie. And so I was kind of struggling for Bacon movies. Long story short, the new movie, Old Dads, in part of the movie, they're actually going after this old guy who goes off the grid or has been off the grid for like 20, 30 years or something like that. And I'm not going to tell you who it is because it just kind of caught us off guard. And I was like, holy crap, that's so-and-so. But it
To which I replied, holy crap, it is.
Yes. And it could have been Kevin Bacon, and he would have been perfect in that role. He would have been awesome in that role. So, yeah, old guy.
I just saw that movie recently too, and I had to do a double take when I saw him. I was like, "Is that who I think it is?" Wow.
Yes, it is.
But, yeah, it was. And I wish he was in. I'm trying to give anything away, but I wish he was in that movie more because he was really good, but he was only in like 2 or 3 scenes, and then
it was a missed opportunity.
And then they forgot about him. So,
yeah.
And with that, and that particular actor we're being so cryptic, folks. Just go watch Old Dads.
Yes.
Give stuff away. But that guy is not that much older than I am. Born in the mid to late 60s. So anyhow.
And they definitely made him look grizzled, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're like, holy crap.
Good stuff. Well, as we wait for Marty, we're going to make him go next to last, but I will go now. And I want to preface this once again that I dig the Bacon, have for, since I first saw him in Animal House way back when. And of course, Footloose. Jel, we're not going to revisit it. There's no need. Jel and I do not see eye to eye on Footloose. It's fine. Agree to disagree. It's why we're here, though, on the Bacon Wars. But the 3 that I came up with, these are all classic roles for all of these guys. But I would like, based off of Kevin Bacon and just being able to work in any genre, whether, like Jim said, menacing, he can do comedy well. Just watch He Said, She Said, or The Big Picture. He can do comedy brilliantly and dramatic. I mean, God, he had a SAG award and maybe a Golden Globe for Murder in the First. But the first one I'm going to go with is taking the Tim Roth role in Reservoir Dogs. And again, Tim Roth, amazing in it, but just Kevin Bacon, that flippant attitude and being able to just be an undercover cop and pull it off. And I like Kevin Bacon, or I would like to see Kevin Bacon in that one. I think he can pull it off. And just those little comedic roles too. He convinced me. I want my money back. Give me my buck back. I would like to see Kevin Bacon. That is my first one in our What If game. I'm playing What If along with Jim and Christine and Jel. We're Marty. He's still to be determined. Hopefully, we'll see him here soon. Marty just made me do his whole 3 at once. So, yeah, Kevin Bacon. I'd like to see him in the Tim Roth role in Reservoir Dogs.
I don't know if he would play Mr. Orange as well as Tim Roth, because Tim Roth really owned that role.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But I will say that while I was working on this list, I did have a thought come to me: how much I would love to see Kevin Bacon in a Tarantino movie. And how
Yes,
much
and that's where my mind was. I'm like, well, where could he go? And I it would be too throwing him in with because Travolta is an amazing dancer.
Really?
Yeah, there we go. I figured this out. But I'm like, no, not that role. But again, I thought Tim Roth in that smaller role with Honey Bunny, and but yeah, pick a Tarantino movie. I'd like to see Kevin Bacon work with him, but we only have one more shot to do it. Apparently, with Tarantino only doing one more movie,
right?
Allegedly.
It is kind of ironic, considering the whole 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon thing, that he was basically the only Hollywood actor over 30 that wasn't in Once in a Time in Hollywood.
Excellent point. And 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
6 Degrees, excuse me.
6 Degrees. All right. Well, Jel, over to you.
It's right on your shirt. I should have known that.
Yeah.
All right. So number 2, again, taking the place of the second worst actor in the world, John Travolta. Staying Alive, the sequel to the crappy movie Saturday Night Fever. The even worse movie than Saturday Night Fever. Kevin Bacon as Tony Marino in Staying Alive, the disco ballet, whatever. Did you see the movie? Have you seen that movie?
Yes.
It is one of the worst movies of all time. Maybe Kevin Bacon could make it a little bit better. I mean, he can't dance for crap, but John Travolta can't dance for crap. And I would say that as far as dancing for crap, Kevin Bacon is a little better, not crappier than John Travolta is crappy.
I honestly think I have to agree with you on that. He might not be bad in that movie, or might not have been bad in that movie. That was an awful movie. It was terrible.
I often forget that one, because my 3 go-tos in sequels that never should have been made are Caddyshack 2, and Eddie and the Cruisers 2, and Blues Brothers 2000.
That could have been the worst movie of all time.
Staying Alive should join that pantheon of sequels that never should have been made. Yes.
Yeah, that's a bad movie.
Good call, Jel. Excellent call. All right, Jim.
I'm not sure Kevin Bacon could pass for Italian, but maybe he could be Tony's Irish cousin or Irish roommate or something.
Oh, hey. He's fucking Hollywood. You can do whatever he fucking wants, yeah?
Northern Italian.
Hey.
Those that don't know that they don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
And first thing and the second thing.
I struggled
to come up with all I got.
What Scorsese movie could I put Kevin Bacon in? But I let that. I'm like, no, I can't do it.
Mean Streets.
Taxi Driver.
Harvey Keitel. No, I'm totally joking.
All right, Jim, what you got next?
Okay,
on Bacon Wars.
All right, my second pick is I don't know if I even have a specific role for this one, but I had to mention it. Interview with the Vampire, because he's never
thought about this actually.
He's never played a vampire. And I think he would play one really well. And the thing about Anne Rice's vampires, kind of their distinguishing characteristic is their arrogance. And he plays arrogance so well when he's playing a bad guy.
Yeah.
If you look at what's that?
Which vampire?
I wouldn't say he'd play Lestat better than Tom Cruise. He would played Lestat better in the sequel, because Tom Cruise wasn't in it and the actor was weak in that one. But honestly, I think most of the actors or most of the vampires in that, he probably would have played really well. He has this, when he's playing a villain, he can have this look on his face that just has this look that says, "I'm better than you." And I see it. Yeah.
I know that look you're talking about, but to me it looks like pure constipation.
I'll
I
take
was
your
just
word
going
for
to
that.
say he looks like he's smelling crap. He's
Yes.
Right.
he's
That's
really
what
good at-
exactly.
He's
Thank
really
you,
good at that
That's the
poopy
point.
smell face.
That's the point. Is that's what he's
Joey
supposed to look like.
Tribbiani, smell the fart.
Yes.
Soap opera acting school, smell the fart. What do
Yeah,
think
if you
of
look
that
at, but I
fart?
mean, if you look at him in X-Men First Class, especially in
Oh,
that introductory scene where he's just sitting at the desk and just you can tell he's just looking down his nose at everybody, but especially at young Magneto in that. It's just it feels like one of Anne Rice's vampires. Like I think he would have been, especially when he was younger, he would have done that really, really well. So that is my second pick.
all right, I like that one too. And yeah, the scene where he was breaking Eric Lenscher to turn him into to unleash his powers. Yeah, definitely love it. All right, Christine, over to you.
Okay. Well, one of my most annoying actors is Kevin Costner. So I would actually replace him in Yellowstone because I probably would have seen it by now if Kevin Bacon was in it. And I've also seen Kevin Bacon play some of like cowboy type characters or like, kind of a out west sort of.
Well, one of Marty's favorite movies, Tremors.
Yeah, kind of that sort of guy. And, Kevin Costner is so annoying to me that I think he would be amazing in that role. And I definitely would have watched it by now. Because I've heard great things about the show, but I just can't bring myself to watch it.
And I can take or leave Kevin Costner depending on the movie, but I think we really should watch A Perfect World to give you a different take on Kevin Costner.
Okay.
Actually acting and not just being Kevin Costner.
Okay.
Or watch Silverado and watch him be kind of a live wire and completely different from his normal screen persona.
Just add another one to my list, Jim. I have not seen Silverado yet. I know.
I may have seen it. I don't
Silverado
remember.
is awesome. It's one of the best
Silverado
modern
is
westerns.
awesome.
Yep.
I may have seen it and forgot because of Kevin Costner.
Silverado is great.
I'm jumping that one into the top 5 that I need to catch up on.
Okay.
All right. Well, my number 2 is going to be again. This was written and directed by the guy whose character I'm going to have Kevin Bacon step into. That Thing You Do. I would like to see him play Tom Hanks's Mr. White. Again, there's that smarm and just it's music related. And Kevin Bacon, not a dancer, but an excellent guitar player and not a half bad singer. But that little move that when Tom Hanks kicks in with the Wonders, I'd like to see Kevin Bacon pull that one off.
Isn't it Oneaters?
The Oneaters.
Yeah, right,
Yeah, the Oneaters.
You know what? I actually
pianos over by the Erie Airport.
I actually remember seeing
Steubenville.
I remember seeing Kevin Bacon in an indie movie called Telling Lies in America, where he played a DJ. And
basically Alan
and
Freed.
it was very similar type of character, like a sleazy music promoter, kind of very two-faced and knew how to flatter people. And yeah, now that you've said that, I can absolutely see him in that role, having seen him in the other movie.
And I'm glad you brought up Telling Lies in America, one of Joe Esterhouse's best scripts. That's a good independent movie. I like that one. Good call.
For sure.
All right, Jel, we're circling back down to you. Going counterclockwise.
All right, the third one. Like I said, I'm going past to present. Easily the worst movie of all time. And again, John Travolta did not help. Battlefield Earth.
Jel, Kevin Bacon, John Travolta, nothing could save Battlefield Earth.
Nope.
Go on ahead.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, because, we're talking about Kevin Bacon. So we're talking about one of the worst actors of all time, having to replace maybe the second worst actor of all time, could maybe make it better. I don't know. The whole thing about Battlefield Earth, the thing I could never get over was the fingers. They look like, Muppet hands. And, the head was like They say when you have like a big head, it's not a 4-head, it's a 5-head. But
Or a 7-head.
I wouldn't know anything about that, Bill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, Eric, you could have been in that.
But much like Kevin Bacon, I'm not a Scientologist. So
Well, you see, I try not to discuss politics, money, or religion because you don't know who you're going to offend. But cults, that's another thing. So I can totally talk about Scientology in the worst way. And as far as I understand, the entire cult of Scientology, Battlefield Earth is, I guess, like a documentary, isn't it?
I think, if I'm not wrong, it's based off of L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, it's based on
or whatever. Yeah,
like something having to do with whatever planet or whatever became
aliens.
I mean, nobody knows what the hell that movie's about, right? I mean,
well, my understanding, the best way I've seen Scientology explained was on South Park. So beyond that, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Have you ever watched the Scientology channel?
They have a channel?
Oh yeah, it's like a train wreck. I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it. I love watching this. If you have not watched the Scientology channel, watch it.
Well, should I watch it?
It's fascinating that anybody could be this insane. It is so fun to watch.
If I can find it, would I be best to go immediately to Leah Remini's documentary?
No, because she's not funny. Some of these shows are just amazing. Like when they talk about how psychiatry and psychology is all, bunk and it's not worth anything. And then they show you what they call proven clips. But the clips they show you are like from 1940, when they're drilling a hand drill into somebody's head. And it's like every proof of anything is like from the 40s and 50s. It's hilarious. It is so much fun to watch.
We'll have to check to see if we have that on any of our streaming war channels.
It's comedy gold. The next Threefer has to be, what are your 3 favorite things about Scientology?
We're going to mark that one down. We'll see where we come back to that one.
And how would Kevin Bacon make Scientology better?
That I might be able to turn. I can maybe make that happen. But you've already got a Battlefield Earth. All right, that's Jill's third one. And now we'll go to Jim for his third entry in the Bacon Wars.
Okay, my third entry, Christine actually brought this up, but I went through his filmography, and I was kind of amazed, given how versatile it is, that he never did a Western, at least not so far. So
not traditionally. I mean, Tremors was, yeah.
Tremors, he wore a cowboy hat and said "yeehaw," but I mean, it wasn't a Western. It was a monster movie. So, but I think he would be absolutely perfect for a Western in general. And my pick would be Young Guns, specifically Young Guns 2.
Okay.
My pick would be the character played by Christian Slater in that, Arkansas Dave Rudabaugh, who I think a young Kevin Bacon would be perfect in that. Nothing against Christian Slater. I like him. I think he's good in his wheelhouse, but he didn't bring a whole lot to that other than some swagger, which is kind of what it called for. But I think Kevin Bacon would have been absolutely fantastic in that role. And I, it wouldn't have been, in terms of personality, it wouldn't have been too far removed from who he played in Tremors, just in a more of a Western setting. So I think he would have been really, really good in that.
And pairing him up once again with his Flatlanders co-star Threefer.
Indeed.
I like it.
Good call.
I mean, we can all agree that Christian Slater's a pretty crappy actor too, right?
I love Heathers. I love. He was decent in Name of the Rose, early role, but I like him when I see him. But beyond that, I don't know.
I mean, isn't he just
out of
Jack
his wheel?
Nicholson in a young suit?
Yeah, well, once he did that Nicholson, poor man's Nicholson for Heathers, which I love, good for the role. He never kicked out of that gear, which kind of set him back in my eyes.
Yeah.
He's done some good stuff on TV lately, like Mr. Robot, and he did some voice work on Archer. It was very different from what he's done in the past, and he's pretty good on those. So I kind of hope he keeps with those kind of roles.
That's true. He kind of making a renaissance, getting away from the Nicholson thing. Yep. Okay. Yep.
He was really good in Mr. Robot. I enjoyed that role.
Never seen it. What is that?
When did that come out? I think that came out like almost 8 years ago now, or something like that. I think.
I'm really behind.
But Rami Malek's in it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's kind of crazy. He's a hacker. Rami Malek is a hacker in that one, and they're kind of it's an anti-establishment.
Rami Malek. That's the guy that he played Freddie Mercury, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, Christine,
so I actually
school us on Mr. Robot. Over to you for your third pick.
Yeah, I actually have a honorable mention because I've kind of got nothing for or against Channing Tatum, but another movie that I probably would have seen by now if Kevin Bacon was in it is Magic Mike.
Oh, see that. There are no wrong answers here, folks. But Channing Tatum, that was kind of the role of his life.
It is kind of the role of his life, but I'm not a fan. I liked him in the dog movie. I thought he was good in that, but I'm just kind of whatever with him. And Magic Mike, I've heard again, women rave about it, but I think
you've not seen it?
No, nope, I haven't seen any of them.
Then how do you know he'd be good in it?
Because I saw him in Footloose, and I love that movie.
Again with the Footloose.
Friday night, folks. The last show we saw where that went, and that's
so. That was my honorable mention, but my number one wish Kevin Bacon was in this movie, and he actually was supposed to be in this movie, taking over Charlie Sheen's role, but being John Malkovich, could you just imagine bacon? Yeah, he'd have been great as taking over and having it being Kevin Bacon.
Interesting.
Just totally changed the movie. Yeah.
You guys are weird.
Well,
I like you.
Thanks.
Flipping over to my last one, I really enjoyed Kevin Bacon in a very small role, but an effective role in JFK. So I would like to see him. I would have liked to have worked with all.
He was shirtless in that.
There you go. But picture him shirtless 25, 30 years after that. I mean, Matthew McConaughey pulled it off, but that's as
you know what else I'm going to add is having seen Wild Things. I have officially seen all of Kevin Bacon, and I can pretty much guarantee that he would not make a very good male stripper. or let me rephrase that. Channing Tatum would make a better male stripper than him.
Okay.
And I'm going to leave.
I'll
leave
have
it
to
there.
trust you.
And don't worry, it's in one of the boxes out in the garage. Have that on VHS or on
For real.
DVD.
Okay.
Wild Things is a great movie. That
Next, we need to discuss why you have Magic Mike.
I have that one as well on Blu-ray. That was given to me when I worked at Warner. But anyway,
has she seen the video, Eric?
I don't think so.
You're a really big.
I don't know. Anyhow, but the other Oliver Stone movie I would like to see him. And again, this guy was perfect. Sean Penn in U-Turn. I would like to see Kevin Bacon do that. Just a grizzled, off-kilter movie. U-Turn is a very underappreciated Oliver Stone movie. Great book too, but that was based on. But Kevin Bacon in U-Turn, filling in for Sean Penn. That's my final call for Bacon Wars.
That's a good choice.
All right.
First pick for that. Do you know who it was?
For the Sean Penn role?
Yeah.
Oh wait, Christine, get there we go. There, yes. All right,
there it is.
Go.
Okay, for the original role for that was Bill Paxton.
Really, for the Sean Penn role?
Yeah, he was originally up for that role, and then eventually had to drop out because he was making, I believe it was A Simple Plan, and that ran over, so he couldn't do it. But that was Oliver Stone's first pick, and I think he would have been magnificent.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not as Kevin Bacon could have pulled that off too, but Sean Penn's okay. I'm not a big fan of his. He's chronic overactor, but I think Bill Paxton would have been great in that. And yeah, I kind of agree with you on Kevin Bacon. He would have been really interesting in that role too.
Two veterans of Apollo 13.
There you go.
See, my trivia is nowhere near as fun as Jim's, folks. I don't deserve a banner for trivia. But that wraps up our Bacon Wars and how we would recast. But now we're going to go for a topic Jel, I'm sure, has a list a mile long of movies where Kevin Bacon either
I don't want to go first on this.
or did whatever, and this movie just doesn't need to be made Kevin Bacon or otherwise.
I don't want to go first on this one. I want to hear.
Oh, all right.
I'd like to hear some of the others first.
Well, Jim, we're going to go first with you then.
Okay, so I'm going to start off real quick because I forgot to do this. I'm going to add an honorable mention for roles he should have played. I'm going to say he should have played Keanu's part in Dracula. I think he would have made a really good Jonathan Harker, and I mean, basically anybody would have been better than Keanu. Let's be real. But I think he would have played Jonathan Harker really well. He could have done the accent well, and he would have given that role just what it needed. I know he wasn't a heartthrob back then. And that's why Keanu was picked, but I think he would have been much better in it. That said, moving on to movies better without him. This was not a widely seen movie, but it was a movie called The Woodsman. It came out a while ago. It was a movie where he played I'm gonna use some careful language here. He played a person who went to jail for doing some inappropriate things with some people that were not of age. And so it's about his character getting out of jail, trying to reintegrate in society and deal with his impulses and find a way to overcome them. And he was all wrong for this role, completely wrong for it, in my opinion, for a lot of reasons. First of all, the whole point of the movie is that he's supposed to be fighting off this temptation to do horrible things again, and nowhere in this movie does he seem capable of that. He really leans into kind of his likability and his kind of everyman sympathies, and never for a second does it feel like he's actually capable of that. And the other thing is he doesn't. It's a role that there's a lot of internalization. You're supposed to be able to he doesn't talk a lot. He hardly speaks in the whole movie, and you're supposed to kind of see the gears turning in his head, and he doesn't do that well. He's a very external actor, and so he doesn't play internalizing well. So I really think he was wrong for that. I think there's a lot of good actors who could have pulled off a tricky role like that, but he really didn't bring what it needed. So that is my pick.
All right. And then that was actually, if I'm not mistaken, that was the role that he actually got some awards for, didn't he? Or some nominations?
He did. Yeah, he played the festival circuit. He got some awards. I can't remember exactly what he did. I don't think he was up for an Oscar or anything, but he did.
As we talked about on the last show with John Nolte, that's Hollywood for you.
Yep.
So, all right, Christine, over to you.
Okay. Well, mine, I'll be quick about it. Hollow Man was an awful movie. It was terrible. And I don't think he carried that movie at all. I just don't think he was good in it himself. And it was a bad movie. I honestly think that the co-star and that Josh Brolin probably would have done a better job in that lead role. And maybe would have made the movie a little bit better, perhaps. I don't really know that he needed to be in that movie at all. But yeah.
Well, Josh Brolin was saving his disfigured role for Jonah Hex, and no one saw that one either. So
I liked that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
Well, there's the one. It's
campy, comic booky. I liked it. I like Josh Brolin though.
I do like Josh Brolin. That movie, unfortunately, and maybe I was in a bad mood, whatever it was. It's like I just felt everything felt too phoned in. They were just trying to cash in on something quick, and it didn't look right for me. But that's me. Subjective.
I don't put it in my top 3, but definitely in my top 10.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna Jel. I'm gonna go one more here, and for me, it was, and Kevin Bacon, as I mentioned earlier, can pull off about anything, and comedy, drama, quirky, but Up in the Air, he just felt very out of place in a one of those fish out of waters that were so prevalent in the early '90s. And I mean, whether it's Kevin Bacon not saving the move or anything, Up in the Air, that's my call for no bacon, no nothing.
What is that movie?
Up in the Air, he played an American who went to Africa to help these guys learn basketball. There was a guy over there. It was like a
okay. All right. I was thinking George Clooney, but
yeah, I believe it was actually called The Air Up There.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, Up in the Air
was so bad I didn't even remember the name of the title properly, and that's why we have Jim here to save me. Yeah, thank you. George Clooney was the other one, the Up in the Air, but the Air Up There, no bacon, no nothing.
I just had a hard time buying him as a basketball player because he was like 2 feet shorter than every other character in that movie that plays basketball.
He's only 5'10". Yeah.
Yeah. So and he was surrounded by Africans that were like 7 feet. So he seemed like a shrimp by comparison. So
he doesn't seem athletic in any way.
Not even right. I almost went with Quicksilver. Not that good of a cyclist either, but that's a dishonorable mention, I guess.
I kind of feel bad for him right now.
Well, you're going to feel worse after we wrap up with the man who considers him the second.
All right, Jel.
We started our evening with Jel Michaels. We're going to end our evening with Jel Michaels in the Bacon Wars. What do you got?
Footloose.
No, you did Footloose on the last
one.
Footloose. No.
Footloose.
Oh, you have to pick something else.
No. Footloose sucks.
What's that? You're breaking up, Jel. Couldn't catch that.
Yes.
Footloose.
We know you love Kenny.
Kenny Wormald is a much better actor than Kevin Bacon. And Kevin Bacon ruined. You know what? Kevin Costner would have been great in Footloose. Actually, John Travolta probably would have been really good in Footloose, come to think of it.
In the Chris Penn role?
Are you crazy? Come on.
Well, you're gonna have fun. I'm gonna have fun right back. Bad mouth of my Footloose again.
Penn should have.
We're going at it again, folks. Here we go.
Chris Penn should have had an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in that movie. That's how good he was in that movie. But it was because of Kevin Bacon ruining it and dumping all over it that Chris Penn did not get that nomination. And you know what?
That's the only reason.
I even went back and just to prove how much better Kenny Wormald is than Kevin Bacon, you have to look at some of these other fantastic movies. Clerks 2. Come on. Right?
That's it? That's all you got?
Okay, I know. Honey 3, Dare to Dance, where he was an extra dancer. Lap dance, right? Where he was an extra as a dancer. Center Stage, extra as a dancer. Who didn't see You Got Served? Everybody saw You Got Served, right?
I didn't
saw
see
that.
I will say the same thing when someone asks me, do you want ranch or blue cheese with your wings? And I say blue cheese because I'm not 12 years old. So, no, I have not seen.
You didn't see You Got Okay. Served. Well, Love and Mercy, where he was also an extra as a dancer, which is why he was so much better than Kevin Bacon, because he was a dancer. Kenny Wormald.
Hold me closer, extra dancer. No.
You answer me this. Has Kevin Bacon ever been cast in a movie as an extra because he's a dancer? No. What was the whole purpose of the part of Ren? It was because he was a dancer.
What was
Kenny
the purpose
Wormald
of it?
is a dancer.
What about okay? You go ahead and put Kenny Wormald in a remake of Flashdance because Jennifer Beals didn't do her dancing.
Jennifer Beal wasn't in Flashdance.
Jennifer
was-
Beals was the star of Flashdance.
I think you're getting Footloose and Flashdance confused.
And if I could figure out how to make this chair go backwards and splash water
Jennifer
on
Beal,
myself
isn't she
right
the
now, I would.
or am I thinking of another lady?
I think you're thinking of Fame and Irene
No,
Cara.
Beal. Jennifer Beal?
Jennifer
Yeah.
Beals.
Jennifer Beal. Yeah.
Who am I thinking of then?
Oh, Kenny Wormald's sister? I don't know.
No, come on. You know who I'm thinking of.
Jennifer Lawrence?
No, Jennifer Beals. She was, didn't she marry
Oh, Jennifer Beal, B-I-E-L from.
Justin Timberlake.
Jessica Biel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jessica
She wasn't
Biel,
in
that's Jennifer.
Flashdance.
No. Jennifer Beal. Yeah, Jennifer
Beals
Beals
is-
is
Beals is
the
plural.
curly-haired
Beals.
lady.
Oh, there's two of them?
They spell it differently. One is B-E-A-L, the other one is B-I-E-L.
And they have different first
B-E-A-L-S is
names.
Jennifer Beals from Flashdance. And
Does everybody know that?
Jessica Biel, B-I-E-L.
Yeah, Jessica Biel. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. It's not Jennifer. So
Yes.
there.
It is a J name, though. Very confusing.
Well, all I'm saying is Kenny Wormald also would have made Flashdance better.
In the Jessica Biel role?
It was an iconic
Oh,
role.
don't be ridiculous. Come on. He'd have been Kenny Wormald would have been great in that part as the guy that owned the construction company
Okay.
because he could dance. He's a dancer.
I think next show, folks, we're
Did the
going to have a Threefer
construction company
countdown
own your dance?
on greatest dance roles that would have been better done by Kenny Wormald. So don't want to hear any of them now.
You're gonna have a
We'll
tough
be
time with
back
that
in
one.
2024, and we will have the Kenny. This is Bacon Wars. We'll have the Wormald Wars,
Yes.
and we're not going to see the 4 times fast. I barely got through it the first.
Sounds like a
time.
really bad sci-fi book series.
Now, Eric, I know that you're a huge Kevin Bacon fan, okay? And you run the show. I understand that, and that's why we're doing the Bacon Wars. But broaden your horizons. Get into Kenny Wormald.
I will have fun with this, and I will come up with the top 3 roles that Kenny Wormald would not even be able to set foot as an extra in a dancing movie.
Oh, come on.
I will give you this, though. He may have made Xanadu better.
No
But
one
not
can
the
make
Gene Kelly
Xanadu.
role.
You can't make Xanadu better. Xanadu's a classic. The only thing that could have,
am I
you know
right?
what? The only thing that could have made Xanadu better, more roller skates.
Not going to argue that, folks. I will not argue that.
If you add roller skates to just about any movie, it's going to be 10 times better. And I'm not talking about those inline. What do they have now?
No, they got to be the big, thick ones like Xanadu. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not talking about roller blades. I'm talking about roller skates.
Yeah.
Lace up roller skates.
We'll do Car Wash 4. We'll do Thank God It's Friday 2.
No. We need the
And
old
we'll
stuff.
always cast that guy, Sunset Sam.
DC Cab.
Oh, yeah, there you go. DC Cab and Car Wash, both involving Jim. Take us away on that one.
I'm
It's
not with you on
Mr.
this one.
T. Is it Richard Pryor?
Director of Falling Down.
Oh, Joel Schumacher.
Joel Schumacher involved in both. Yes.
Really?
Yep.
Hmm.
He wrote Car Wash. Wrote Car Wash and directed DC Cab. We don't
What
have
happened to those guys, the Barbarian Brothers? Remember them from DC Cab?
Of course.
that's a cast of dozens, and including Bill Maher.
Bill
I think
Maher?
I think one of the brothers actually passed away recently.
Really?
Yeah. So it's just the Barbarian brother now.
You see, we need trivia with Jim.
Those guys were great actors.
They're great at playing the Barbarian brothers.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, I mean, who could have?
It's great, and not even better than the 2 ladies who played the Barbie twins, or the 2 heavy set guys riding around on the trikes.
I love those guys.
Cowboy has the drinks.
I love those guys.
But
They
we
could have
digress
been in
on
Tremors.
here, folks, on the all over the place Threefer Bacon Wars with our special guest coming back, Jel Michaels. And Jel, why don't you go and tell everybody where you're going to be in later in the month?
You can catch me at Laugh Tracks in Fort Worth at the end of November. I think it was November 29th, 30th, and December 1st and 2nd. And you can read all my good stuff on MediaPub.live. It's funny.
That's where we know him. That's where we love him. So, folks, make sure you get out to the Laugh Tracks in Fort Worth on those dates he mentioned. That's November 29th and 30th, as well as December 1st and 2nd. Jel Michaels, thanks for joining us. Always fun having you here. Whether it's Kevin Bacon or Kenny Wormald, we'll see you again in 7 to 8 weeks with the Wormald Wars coming at you here on All Over the Place.
Thank you guys for having me. I love being on here with you guys.
Very welcome. Take care. All right, folks, this has been All Over the Place, the official podcast of MediaPub.live. Make sure you check out Jel there. Check him out doing some stand-up in Fort Worth in November and December. And we'll be back really soon here on All Over the Place.
Bye-bye.
All Over the Place, where the fun sanity